Hello and welcome to another edition of Chesapeake Hockey Week. That's the podcast. I'm Scotty Wazz. How are you all doing? Hope you're well. Missed a little bit of a week because I figured there was only one game of substance this past weekend, thankfully. And why waste it on just, why make a short podcast, have a kind of a bigger podcast as we're down to the nitty-gritty for Music City. And one of those teams that was able to extend that was the Stevenson Mustangs, as they took on, first off, Wilkes in the semifinal of the MAC. Stevenson having home ice advantage in this one, and they wasted no time. Only 9 seconds in, right after the opening faceoff, John Musella wins it back to Jack Carlson. Jack Carlson dumps it to Caden Smith. Caden Smith just comes down the right side, shoots from the half wall, fools the goalie. 1-0, 9 seconds in on Caden Smith's opening salvo. However, it would take a little bit of a while for Stevenson to get the next goal. Only 1:06 remaining in the first when Gage Perillo scores on a 3-on-1 between him, Connor McDonald, and Keenan Schneider. They kind of go back and forth, give and go, and Perillo rips one from the right dot to make it 2-0 Stevenson after one period of play. They'd get on it early in the second. Matt Yeager, 124 in a nice little transition play. Barrels down the right side with speed and just kind of takes a shot from in tight right near the crease. Goes over the shoulder. 3-0 Green Horses in this one. But Wilkes would get one back shortly after. Cam Lowe would make it 3-1, 3:03 into the frame. But towards the midpoint of the frame, Stevenson gets that 3-goal lead back. Blake Benson, who else, who has had a hell of a season, gets a nice little pass over from John Musella. Benson cuts across the front, rips it home from the slot area. There was a discussion of goalie interference that was talked about for the refereeing, but they determined that had no consequence in that shot. So Benson scores 4-1 for Stevenson. Christian Bloomquist in the third period would get one for Wilkes all by himself, and it wasn't until the midpoint, or past the midway point of the game. So Wilkes really trying to dig in, but Musella gets that done. 1:32 after Bloomquist's goal. He gets that 3-goal lead back. Once again, a little mini 2-on-1 between him and Gage Perillo, and he decides to hammer home a nice little pass from Perillo, cross crease into the back of the net. 5-2 Stevenson. Musella from Perillo and Matt Go. And then Greg Spitznagel with 3:52 remaining gets it into the empty net just as the goalie was pulled for the 6-2 scoreline. Jack Costa will get the assist on that, and that would be your final. Stevenson moves on to the MAC championship with Ford DeLoss making 30 saves in the winning effort. So they waited a week, and the way it shakes down is the higher seed gets home ice advantage, so that means it goes up to Aston, Pennsylvania, as Newman looking to close out their season on a high note. Number one team in the MAC. Kind of between the two, Newman had 2 wins of the 3 meetings they had this year, so Stevenson looking to get one back. It was tough going. 9:15 into the first period, Matt DeMoline scores for Newman to make it 1-0 for them. First period, only goal scoring there for Newman, but they got 2 quick goals under 2 minutes in the start of the second. Max Donahoe gets one 2:17 in on the power play, and then Jake Barkley 4:08 in makes it 3-0, but then Stevenson goes on a bit of a run past the midway point. Keenan Schneider gets on the board. Great work down low between Gage Perillo and Ryan Arnettis, and Arnettis gets it to Schneider. Schneider puts it home at the side of the net. 3-1 now. Stevenson is the deficit, but then a 5-on-3 power play, and towards the tail end of the 5-on-3 power play, Matt Yeager makes it a 1-goal gain. It's a great work around the perimeter there, as just working it around, getting the 3 penalty killers moving and grooving. Carson Galen then puts it out to Matt Yeager. Yeager taps it into the side of the net. John Musella getting a secondary assist. It is now 3-2. Then 16 seconds later, Matt Go gets one unassisted. Just a quick break in and poked in front of the net. Just a kind of a shot put on. It's unassisted. Although there were a couple guys who touched it a little bit, but I guess, I don't know, they assumed Newman had possession or they didn't know who got the assist. But Go was able to touch it in, making it 3-3. So Stevenson has a bit of momentum, unable to score in the rest of the second, and a lot of the third period too. Both teams really clamping down, knowing that it's tied, knowing the next goal could possibly win it. Stevenson gets that next goal. 6:41 remaining. Caden Smith just makes the best out of what happened as a face-off won by Newman. Their defenseman taps it ahead too much, trying to get control. I don't know if they were going to try to one-touch pass it out of the zone or what the heck was happening, but they touched it enough where Caden Smith picks it up off the dot, rips it home, makes it 4-3 for Stevenson. They're looking pretty good the last 4 goals, but Duncan Patterson with under 4 minutes remaining would make it 4-4, tie up the game. The last 3 minutes and change of that game would not decide a victor, so we go to overtime. And it wasn't until 9:16 into the overtime when Zach Smith for Newman ends it. Just a flurry in front, a 3-on-1 going the other way. Back checkers couldn't get there in time. Smith nets it home. He outweights Ford DeLoss, and that's all she wrote for that one. So Stevenson's season ends with a 5-4 defeat, with Ford DeLoss making 30 saves in this one. So a tough go about it, a tough way to end it, end the season in that note. But such is life. Stevenson, first year with a new coach behind the bench, kind of almost replicating what they did last year. Had a good run of it, and we'll kind of do a little bit more of a dissection of it going forward next week, because there is going to be another show next week, and we'll talk to her, or at least in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Before we get to that, Navy, we're in the ECHA playoffs, the 3-versus-6, a play-in game to get into the semifinals as they took on Villanova. And things started off well, 2:21 in. Butler Chesson gets his 19th of the season. A nice little point shot through traffic puts Navy up 1-0 early. Chesson's 19th. Josh Reed's 7th assist. Patrick Laughlin's 25th assist. Navy up 1-0, but Villanova just dogs in this game. They were putting the offense to Navy. They were just really, offensively the superior team, at least in the first 20 minutes of it, and it ended up well for them as Michael Bianco gets a power play goal with 6:19 remaining in the first, and then Devin Peretti gets his 9th of the year, 3:59 remaining to put Villanova up 2-1. They would continue the hunt there, and while Navy did have to kill off a little bit of a penalty kill there, they were able to kill that off, get it back on it. But Colin Sullivan scores with 5:41 remaining in the second to make it 3-1 for Villanova. Chesson would get one 2:08 into the third period to cut the lead to 1 goal, as just a broken play between everyone involved. Whiffed on the first shot, got the second shot, puts it home for his 20th of the year. Jack Tuchel with his 7th assist. Laughlin with his 26th assist. Navy makes it gets it to within 1, making it 3-2. But Peretti gets his 2nd of the night on the power play, 9 minutes into the frame for his 10th, and then he would finish out his hat trick into the empty net late into the frame. Navy drops this one, ends their season on not a great note with a 5-2 defeat. Gavin Beal makes 37 saves in that one. So much like Stevenson, we'll talk a little bit about Navy. Navy, not the best season that they've had in a while. Just a quick kind of recap of it. Just a very up and down season. I mean, last year they also had a little bit of an up and down season in terms of not making the playoffs last year after being dominant for previous couple of seasons. So a changing of the guard, as it were, in the Naval Academy hockey ranks. So we'll see what this brings. We'll do a full breakdown here in a couple of weeks. Their counterparts, the Navy women, they had the DVCHC playoffs up in Ashton, and they had to take on Rowan to start off with. And Rowan gets started early in the one a couple Saturdays ago, as Zanita Kokurkova gets an even strength goal to make it 1-0, 8:42 in. But with 19 seconds remaining, Riley Sherlock nets one for the Mids, even strength. Elise Jacobs and Ella Johnson getting the assist. We are tied up at 1. It would continue to be tied up until under 5 minutes remaining, 4:06 if you're being a little bit on the nose about it. B. Garvey, even strength goal for her. Kayla DeLetto and Chloe Haynes with the assist. 2-1 for Navy, and then Navy with defense, they would lock it down, even though There was a bit of an onslaught there with 15 shots in the third period for Rowan. They were able to lock that down. Deanna Privroto getting 30 saves in this one in a big effort, especially late, making all 15 of those saves in the third. Navy moves on to the title game as they beat Rowan by a score of 2-1. But they would go on to face the Liberty Flames, who have been just dominant the past couple seasons. Liberty building a heck of a program down there in Virginia. It started off not so great for Navy as Guinevere Donovan and Prismary Wilhelmi get the goals for Liberty in the first period, making it 2-0. Then Abby Rogers would get a power play goal, 11:31 in. Navy would get on the board with B. Garvey scoring one with 44 seconds remaining in the second period. Kayla DeLetto and Tess Clark getting the assist on that. But then Liberty would take it on from there. Sabrina Honeycutt getting 2 goals, Kate Woloff and Donovan getting another goal in the third period. As Liberty wins 7-1, they take the DVCHC title. Deanna Privroto making 33 saves in the defeat. However, not all is lost for Navy, as the women will head to the Nationals, and they will be in the pool play for those Nationals, as they are the second team in the Southeast, and because of that, they get to go on along with Liberty, who's at 1, Rowan University, and Mercyhurst will be joining the ladies, the Lady Mids there. And it is going to be something else. They are in a pairing, or in a group with BC, who was 4th in the Northeast division side of things. Wisconsin, who was 3rd in the West Division, and also against Mercyhurst, who was 4th in the Southeast Division. So a familiar foe, at least in that one. We will see how this all pans out. We will see if they can get out of pool play, if they can get back to the Frozen Four like they did last season. So this is a team that's geared up, could do it. And they got favorable odds, I would say, overall. So we'll come back to there. The tournaments start on Sunday, and they'll run through next Thursday. So expect a podcast late about that. And then we'll also do a wrap-up of the whole thing, of the whole teams after that. So there's all that good stuff. So congratulations to the Navy women, and we will be watching them going around everything and hoping for the best for them moving forward in the national championship. And a shout out to Stevenson University it says ACHA, but they are going to the AAU College Nationals, which starts up on today. It's going on right now. So there you go. It's one of those situations where they're in the playoffs. Should be a good time overall. It's a great time. They'll start actually on Wednesday, 3:30 puck drop for them. So shout out to them. Good luck to them in the AAU Nationals in Jacksonville. How about some players? We'll start off with Sam Addis, who is doing his dang thing over there in Minsk. Another solid couple of games. Got 5 points in the last four games for himself. He's got 82 points, 30 goals, 52 assists in 63 games. Only a couple games left in the regular season for Minsk. As we mentioned earlier, Ryan Arendez, the Gambrels native, he is at Stevenson, and he got himself an assist over the 2 games. So shout out to him. Finished his first season with 3 assists in 13 games. Limited time for the 22-year-old out of Gambrels, who just turned 22 after the new year. So don't get panicked like, oh my God, he's so old to be a freshman in college. It's fine. Everything is fine. Micah Berger had an assist on Saturday, but Yale falls to Colgate 3-2. That ended their season as no, it shouldn't have ended their season. It ends their regular season with Berger finishing with 7 goals, 11 assists for 18 points in 31 games. A solid improvement from him from what happened last year. More points is more gooder, is what I've always been told. Charlie Serrato gets back into action after almost a 2-month layoff due to injury. Gets an assist as Penn State drops 1 to Wisconsin, 5-2. That puts him at 19 assists, 25 points in 20 games. And he is expected now to miss the remainder of the season after, trying it out on Friday night. Nothing going there, so they're going to shut him down for the year, it seems like. Shout out to Scott Kremen, who's finished his college career at SUNY Canton. Had 2 goals and 16 assists in 26 games, but got himself a nice contract in the SPHL with the Birmingham Bulls, already getting an assist in one of his 3 games, and that was on Friday night against the Macon Mayhem in a 2-0 victory. So the St. Joe product, the Husky Howard product, the Arnold, Maryland product, getting himself in the SPHL. So always cool to make that next step going forward. Matthew Danziger had finished off his season with University of Wisconsin Superior, 3 goals, 5 assists for 26 points overall in his junior season, while Anthony Domina in his first year still going. They got the national championship bid, but in his first regular season, 3 goals and 7 points in 23 games for Norwich University and the Cavaliers, I think. No, it's not it. But in any case, a good first year for Domina after some time in the BCHL past couple of years. Lacey Eden had a goal and 2 assists over the weekend during the conference tournament, but unfortunately they fall short as they drop the title game to Ohio State 2-1. Eden finishes off the regular season 38 games, 73 points, including 28 goals and 45 helpers as they go into the national tournament as the 2nd seed overall. So Wisconsin probably looking for a little bit of vengeance. Lacey Eden looking for another title, as she's already a 3-time champ, looking for a 4th one there. So it should be a good one. So we will see. We will follow her throughout, and I believe that starts up next week, or this week actually. So we will have a little bit of production there for that. How about that? Patrick Giles, a bit of a hot streak, 2 goals and an assist in the last 3 games as he puts his point total up to 15 in 49 for San Jose and the Barracuda, 8 goals and 7 assists. Noah Gouls gets his finishes his first season in Delaware, or second season in Delaware, with 3 assists in 28 games for the Blue Hens as the Gaithersburg, Maryland native finishes his sophomore season in D1 of the ACHA. Miles Gunty's season is over with only a goal in 12 games. Injuries playing their part in this one as well for Gunty when he's with the part of the Princeton Tigers. Jesse Horacek, his season is done in Oswego as he played 29 games, had 11 points, 2 goals, and 9 assists in his second year as they dropped the SUNYAC title game on Saturday. Daniel Johnson had 2 assists this weekend as the Black Bears sweep the Rebels from Philadelphia adjacent, and that puts him up to 21 points in 38 games for the Black Bears, 2 goals and 19 assists. Dimitri Kebrew had finished out his season with an assist against Long Island, but UAA drops one in overtime in the UCHC Cup tournament final deal for independent schools, and he finishes his injury-filled season 2 goals and 7 assists in 19 games. Blake Montgomery had a big weekend, a goal and an assist against Penn State, getting back on the board after a little bit of a drought there. Puts him at 9 goals and 17 points in 34 games as Wisconsin moves on in the Big Ten. Cam O'Neill had a goal on Friday as UMass beats BC 2-1. That puts him at 4 goals and 13 points in 29 games in his junior season for the Odenton, Maryland native. A big week for Luke Rubin. Big week, I would say. 3 points in 3 games, a goal and 2 assists, putting him at 6 goals and 3 assists in 28 games for Elmira this year. Jarrett Tenorti had an assist on Sunday for Syracuse as they beat Utica 4-1. That's 6th assist for him in 29 games. 7 points overall for Tenorti, the Severna Park high school alum. I don't know if he finished school, but he went there. That much I do know. And Maddox Talacro had a goal in each of the games on Friday and Saturday as Lone Star sweeps Amarillo. He's got 6 goals and 20 points in 40 games as captain of the Lone Star. Brahma does Maddox Talacro. Grace Campbell had a tough one on Saturday as her NBC dropped to Vermont 3-1 in the Hockey East tournament. 24 saves in that one, giving up 2 goals, including an empty netter. Their season is, I do believe, done. 15, 18, and 1 for Boston College goaltender Grace Campbell. 4 shutouts, 927 save percentage, and a 264 goals against average. And Andrew Takis last Saturday on the 28th had himself a victory, only giving up 3 goals to St. Lawrence in a 7-3 victory, putting him at 3-5-1 on the season, a 900 save percentage, and a 308 goals against as Colgate continues to go on in the ECHC Playoffs. That's it. That's all. We've done it again. You guys have a great rest of your week. We will come back either next week or the week prior or the week after to kind of give a wrap on the Navy women at the National Championships, as well as the final look at the players from this season. So, and a little bit of a postmortem for some teams. That could go 2 weeks. We'll do 1 week of NCAA. We'll do another week of club and split it all up in a good time. But that's it. That's all. You guys have a good one. I'm Scotty Wazz. Take care of yourself and someone else. This has been Chesapeake Hockey Week, part of the Face Off Hockey Show media faction. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Play that clutch and crab hockey when you can, and we'll talk to you next time through. Peace.